All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our November 20th, 2025 meeting of the Ascension Parish Council. We'll call to order. And for tonight's invocation and pledge, we have some special guests. We have members of the ROCAPA National Honor Society who really focus on government and politics, and they're going to lead us in an invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Okay, so I just want to say, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Do not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Dear Lord, we pray that this meeting is safe and that we all have protection over us today, and that we pray that everybody makes it home safe today, and we just pray that we can all agree on something today, and that we all are our best selves for this meeting, and that we want to thank you for allowing us to gather here today. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let Alan, we got to do a picture, y'all. Let's just walk through there.
It's like, get out of the chair, Todd.
Let's see. All right, thank y'all for that. All right, agenda item number 2. So tonight we have a little bit of the changing of the guard on the Ascension Parish Council. As many of you know, this will be Miss Starr's last night with us.
Even though you said it 3 times now in 3 different meetings.
Yeah. Even though we, I've been mentioning it a lot, but so before we give her little going away present and tell her she's got to switch chairs, I'm gonna take a minute of personal privilege that for the last 10 months, after we lost Mr. Mason and moved to D.C., Ms. Tia Starr selflessly stepped up, volunteered to fill the role of District 11 Councilwoman for us, has done a spectacular, admirable job, and as we know, a very thankless job. And look, so she already has like 12 other jobs, okay? She runs nonprofits, recently announced 2 weeks ago as Baton Rouge Business Report, 40 under 40. So as impressive and time-consuming as her life is, she's like, you know what? I'm going to go spend the next 10 months with these people up here and really, really take a beating. So I cannot thank her enough. Really, really going to miss her. She's fantastic. And so at this point, I'm going to ask everyone to give a hell of a round of applause for Ms. Tia.
You got to bow and a curtsy.
That's
You are so sweet.
This was my idea, not Cinnamon's.
I love it. Cinnamon doesn't think of anything cool. Thank you.
So you thought you were done with pictures, but you're gonna
yeah.
take one more.
I know,
Everybody, let's go in the front.
I announced the
And
last
let's
one
get
as
a,
my last one.
Oh, like the front?
Like the front, right here.
Okay.
Just so. All right, and at this time, we are going to ask Councilwoman-elect Mr. Francis, and we have the Honorable Judge Turner here, and we'll invite Mr. Francis and friends, family, anybody you want to let's come to the podium right here, and we'll do some swearing in. Yeah.
You gonna hold the Bible?
Sure.
Okay.
Where do I stand?
They're perfectly fine. Good evening to you all. Raise your right hand for me and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Jennifer DeFrancis,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as Ascension Parish Council District 11,
as Ascension Parish Council District 11,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding.
and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations to you.
Mr. Francis, we're going to need your signature on that form to make sure you don't change your mind. Lock her in.
We can do it like the wedding, take a picture of her signing it.
And for all those wondering, that's my favorite Turner over there. To our, I guess I should have mentioned in the back, our Rho Kappa members, y'all are in for a treat tonight. You seen a council member get sworn in. I talked for 25 minutes and never mentioned that. All right, everyone, please welcome Councilwoman Jenda Francis. All right, Ms. Secretary, we will now do roll call, and all members are present except for Mr. Joseph and Mr. Turner. All right, agenda item number 3, Chair's additions. The Chair does have one addition. It's an announcement. For the month of December, we will only have one council meeting. We will make that council member on Thursday, December 11th. And that is just, instead of missing a meeting the week before Christmas with the holidays, we're going to consolidate. Thursday, December 11th will be the only council meeting. And due to New Year's Day is also a Thursday this year, so we're going to push back January's itinerary by 1 week. So January's council meetings will be the 8th and the 22nd. All right, at this time, agenda item number 4, the public comment sign-in period. If anyone would like to speak on any of our agenda items, we have the cards, over here with Ms. McKee. Fill out the card. Whenever we get to that agenda item, I will call you up, and you will have 3 minutes at the podium to speak. And next is presentations. 5A, we have a proclamation to proclaim November as Lung Cancer Awareness Month in Ascension Parish. I believe we have Mr. Chris Hebert.
I'll go ahead and read the proclamation,
Okay.
Chair.
Yeah, please, Mr. President.
So lung cancer remains one of the most serious health challenges we're facing families across our nation. Awareness and early detection and education truly saves lives. Organizations like the White Ribbon Project are working every day to break the stigma around lung cancer and make sure that no one faces this disease alone. We're especially proud to recognize one of our own, Mr. Chris Hebert, as Ascension Parish resident and a lung cancer survivor. Chris, is your strength and advocacy and your willingness to share your story brings hope to so many. Thank you for being here tonight. And as we proclaim this November as, excuse me, as Lung Cancer Awareness Month in Ascension Parish, and formally recognize the White Ribbon Project for their continued work and partnership, please say a few words for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Clint. I appreciate those words. So back in this November 12th of 2021, on my 46th birthday, I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and basically given 9 to 12 months to live. Last week celebrated my 50th birthday, and 4 years of survivorship. So thanks to research and new treatment options and stuff like that are available. Cancer is being treated more like a serious health condition or a chronic health condition than a death sentence like it was previously. Unfortunately, I've had to travel, to like MD Anderson and stuff like that to get some of these types of treatments, but there are good stuff available here, So I just wanted to share some facts and figures with you guys. So a lot of people have the misconception that lung cancer is caused by cigarette smoke and cigarette smoke only, So one of the things that the White Ribbon Project does is work towards trying to change the public perception of lung cancer. So there's other things such as asbestos, radon, and other environmental factors that contribute to lung cancer that scientists can't quite put their finger on yet. And I don't have a lot of time to get into the science behind it, but basically there aren't good tests right now to identify lung cancer early. So a lot of people generally don't get diagnosed to late stages because they don't have any symptoms leading up to it, and they present with, like say coughing up blood or something like that in the emergency room setting, and 2 weeks later they're no longer with us. So fortunately mine was caught as a result of a blood test, so it's what's called an incidental finding. But early detection is really critical to improved outcomes. In fact, they say 65% of the people, when it's found early, could actually be cured. So one of the things, there's a certain set of criteria that's out there today that only about 20% of the people that are eligible for screening are actually getting screened. And that's the whole point of us trying to build more awareness in the communities that we live in, and really get people to hone in on, it's not just smoking. If you have a family history of lung cancer, you definitely want to get screened, just like you would for colon cancer or prostate cancer if it ran in your family. If you have certain symptoms like shortness of breath or continued bronchitis or anxiety or anything like that, you just don't feel right, then it's probably a good idea to ask your primary care physician to escalate this matter. So really, the takeaway I would like the council and the public to know is anyone can get lung cancer. Anyone with lungs can get lung cancer. So it doesn't matter if you've never smoked a cigarette in your life. I sit at MD Anderson next to 22-year-olds who have been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So if it can happen to a 22-year-old, it can happen to any one of you guys sitting on the council. So I just appreciate the fact that you guys have acknowledged that we exist as lung cancer survivors. There's a lot of people in this community who are battling lung cancer, and there's many people who have lost it. So the White Ribbon Project has asked me that I present a ribbon to the council, and ask you guys to please display it here and in chambers, and then also I want to present one to the parish president as well. Other than that, if anybody has any questions, or you ever run into somebody who does have lung cancer and needs somebody to talk to, I'm not hard to find. Tell them, add me on Facebook. Send me a message. I've got tons of resources that I've been able to pick up on over the years and stuff like that I'm able to share with other folks. So that's about it, but I appreciate it. I had chemo today, so excuse the chemo brain.
Awesome. Thank you.
Give it to Chase.
How are you? Miss Pam, come on hold it.
Sir? I'm not holding it.
All right, just gonna get in the middle.
Okay. Oh, cool.
All squeezed in.
It's got signatures on the back. Isn't that cool? I don't think so. Thank you, Chris. Chris, what's all the name signatures on the back?
Yeah, so, those are folks who have basically helped, build these ribbons.
Okay.
The founder of the White Ribbon Project is a stage four
cool.
lung cancer survivor, who called our cancer center and said, hey, what are you guys doing for lung cancer awareness month? They said nothing. Her husband was a retired physician who picked up woodwork. She said, go in the garage and jigsaw me out a 2-foot tall flag to put on our red front door, and we're gonna at least educate the mailman in the neighborhood. And that's how it started. They took a picture of it, and it went viral. And now these ribbons have been shipped to over 40 countries, thousands of ribbons. You know? So
Awesome.
we gave a bunch of away at the state capitol earlier this week when we planted flags, and then we're doing another white ribbon build at Our Lady of the Lake. We're actually doing it at Pennington with Our Lady of the Lake in March, but we're going to do something in Ascension Parish too, probably like St. Elizabeth's at some point next year.
Awesome.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hebert. And we'll move on to item number 6, the parish president's report. Mr. Quintmore.
Thank you, Chairman Melanson. Good evening, council. And I just want as parish president to welcome Mr. Francis, Councilwoman Mr. Francis, to the council. Congratulations. I would like to wish all of you, our staff, and all the residents a safe and happy Thanksgiving next week. Our offices will be open Monday and Tuesday of next week, but all parish government offices will be closed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in observance of Thanksgiving. The annual holiday stroll on Railroad Avenue in Donaldsonville is this Saturday, November 22nd at 6 p.m. Come out and enjoy. There will be photos with Santa, lights, and shopping. Lastly, I'd like to thank the residents of the West Bank for renewing the drainage millage. We appreciate your trust and look forward to continuing to serve you in the future. And that concludes my report, Chair. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. All right, moving on to agenda item number 7, the consent agenda. At this time, would anyone like to remove any item from the consent agenda for further discussion? All right, let's do one at a time. So Mr. Robert is going to take item E. All right, so item E will now become 8E under general business. All right, and you said, Mr. Vornader? All right, so item O will now become 8F under general business. 7N. Okay, and 7N will now become 8G under general business. And also, Chair would like to move item BB. Item BB will be moved to 8H. Okay, so 4 items removed for further discussion. All right, Chair, entertain a motion to, we have a motion by Mr. Vornado, a second by Mr. Robert to approve the consent agenda as amended. Any objection? Any questions? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, so now we're going to move on to general business, item number 8. Again, so I'm going to ask that we, items 8A and 8B, that we defer those to our December 11th meeting due to our partners with Our Lady of the Lake, unfortunate scheduling issue. And also there's some changes there that I would like everybody to have a little more time to review. So I do have a motion to defer 8A to December 11th by Ms. Alonso with a second by Mr. Vornado.
Chairman Melanson, you need
Yes.
to read it.
I'm sorry. No, I'm over here. Approval of cooperative endeavor agreement with Women's Hospital Foundation for women's healthcare services to the residents of Ascension Parish. Payment to the provider shall be $14,250 per month. And I do have a motion and a second to move to December 11th. Is there any objection to that? Hearing none, So moved. 8B is approval of amendment number 1 to the cooperative endeavor agreement with Our Lady of the Lake Hospital Incorporated to remove women's health services and adjust payment accordingly due to contracting with Women's Hospital to provide these services. The new amount would be $341,666.67 per month beginning on November 1st, 2025.
Motion to defer to December 11th.
Motion to defer to December 11th by Ms. PT and a second by Mr. Vornado. Any objection? Hearing none. So moved. All right, 8C, ratification of a local declaration of emergency, red dirt at LA Alumina Burnside Aluminum Plant to extend the declaration as necessary until the end of threat of danger has been resolved pursuant to LARS 29-727 D1.
Motion.
Motion approved by Mr. Robert and a second by Ms. Beatty. Is there any objections? Any questions? Hearing none. So moved. 8D, a resolution amending the resolution adopted on January 4th, 2024 to remove the parish sales tax from the list of designated sales tax dedicated to funding economic development projects within Highway 30 Industrial Corridor Economic District of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, and otherwise providing with respect thereto. All right, Mr. Vornado has a question.
Ricky, can you give us a quick rundown on what this is and the reasoning behind it?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
We had created an economic development district over the Highway 30 corridor, and the intent during that process was to put funds into that district that could be utilized on significant infrastructure projects that we thought were on a near horizon, meaning the widening of 30, the connection of parish roads to a potential future interstate interchange, the connection to that interchange to Highway 73. As it appears today, those projects aren't near. But if we leave Sales Tax District 1 completely within this district, we're going to have to move a substantial amount of money that just has to sit until projects become apparent. So at this time, we're requesting to remove the entirety of Sales Tax District 1 from the Economic Development District until such time that maybe these projects become a little more real.
Okay, so we have a motion approved by Mr. Vornado and a second by Mr. Robert. Are there any more questions? Are there any objections? Hearing none, so moved. All right, and now moving on to the amended parts of the agenda. This is 8E, which was originally 7E, which is improvement of agreement with the Picard Group LLC for professional services related to the legislative branch of state government on the basis of $10,000 per month for federal governmental affairs services and $7,500 per month for state governmental affairs services, not to exceed amount of $250,000 for federal and state services, printing, travel, events, and miscellaneous costs. Mr. Robert.
A couple questions. First, do we have anybody from the Picard Group here? No.
No, we do not.
Okay. Is this extension or any type of extension of a contract or a renewal?
This is a renewal,
So this is in a renewal.
correct.
Okay. Did we put this out to bid?
No, originally this started in December of 2024. Just as the federal, we tried them out for a few months. We were very satisfied with their services. We came to the council to amend it to include the state services and for a year contract.
Okay. And yeah, I remember when we did that. It's just, over the last year, personally, I have been disappointed in the Picard Group. I think they could have done a lot more for the council on our trips to DC and elsewhere last year. Tried to do a little bit too late, really wasted a lot of time and a lot of taxpayer money by having members of us up there and not engaging with the people that we should be engaging in or with. I will make a motion to defer this and look into some other options, see if there are other options for lobbying group.
All right, so I have a motion by Mr. Robert to defer. Do you have a certain date in mind?
We can defer till we can put out a bid or something. I mean, January, we can get some information on some other groups instead of just putting $1 million out for somebody just because.
All right, so Mr. Robert would like to defer this, we'll say the January 8th meeting. Is there a second? I'll second. We have a second by Mr. Cullen. All right, is there any objection? We have a motion and a second. All right, hearing none, so move. All right. Agenda item 8F, which was originally 7O. 7O is approval of amendment number 1 to the master contract for professional services for the architectural design for Animal Services Center with Miguet Architecture LLC to extend the contract term to December 31st, 2026, and retroactive to December 21st, 2025. This amendment only extends to the contract term and does not affect the original contract price. Mr. Vornado.
I'd like to make a motion to defer for further discussion with the firm itself. Some earlier numbers that I've run with some projects that I'm affiliated with across the state are coming nowhere near this $250 square foot price that we're assuming this thing is going to be. Therefore, that's, these architectural fees are based off of that $7.6 million, I'm assuming. I'm not affiliated with any contract or build commercially with building this size, anything over $150 a square foot. So for me, I think we definitely need further discussion on this, because even if this building comes in at $5.5 million, we will have paid this architectural firm 10% of the wrong budget. So I don't feel like we should be extending this money just yet. So I'll make a motion to defer. Yeah, let's do January, first meeting in January.
Okay, so I have a motion to defer, which is now 8F, which was originally from the consent agenda, to defer until January 8th. And that motion by Mr. Vornado is second by Mr. Robert. Admin, would y'all like to comment before? No?
I guess the one concern, just not knowing what the plan is moving forward, is that this really is just extending his contract to the end of next year so that the work he's completing right now, we can pay him for, because his contract ended October 25th. And so this extension allows us to continue to pay the invoices he's going to pay us until this gets extended. Because right now, his contract ended, so when he sends us the next invoice, we can't pay him.
So does this total invoice include MEPs, engineering included, or is this just architectural? Mr. Mujo, can you answer that?
Mr. Mujo, oh, I didn't see him sit back there. That's Mr. David.
Yeah, good evening, Council. David Mujo, Mujo Architecture. Yes, Councilman, it includes civil engineering, structural engineering, mechanical engineering, which is plumbing and air conditioning. It includes electrical engineering, and it includes our fees. So, and we also had another specialty architecture firm on the project that's from another state that had national experience in animal shelters. So we had them on our team as well. We have paid them as well.
Did we get any cost on percentages on office space versus kennels and all of that? Because I don't think I've seen anything.
I do, to answer that, I have a bid that was in November 13th, 2024 for the Livingston Parish Animal Shelter, and it was a pre-engineered metal building. It was a, it wasn't a Taj Mahal, so to speak, kind of building. It was pre-engineered metal building. We did kennels. We did the standard kennel sizes. Those are set by code. We did stainless steel gates for each kennel. We had a couple of offices. We had a puppy's room, a cat's room, very similar in nature to our project here, with the exception of theirs was 15,000 square feet, and that came in, the low bidder was right at 3.3 million. The difference is on that project, and that is a very close, very similar bid recently, and the and it's half the size of ours. The things that drove it up a little bit from this project is that they had 50 kennels, we have 150. That's a component. I don't know what you're comparing the 150 cost per square foot, but every kennel has
So
a
the
plumbing.
150 is the largest amount, actually 147 is the largest amount, and it was a 60,000 square foot warehouse on Highway 30.
That's a warehouse.
And
That's a
again,
warehouse.
the semantics of office space versus dog kennels is different. I'm talking about overall cost budget. We're paying you guys based on an assumed overall budget. The overall budget to that 60,000 square foot warehouse, and I'm just using that one as an example. We just did one in Hammond, where it was a 23,000 square foot conditioned space. And it was coming in at about $3 million. So
Well-
nothing, so that's just my whole gripe that I got with it. We're paying, in my opinion, $100 more a square foot than the private sector. That's just, I mean, I've got about 8 different cases of projects I'm involved in. $147 a square foot is the highest price. Now, that's the private sector versus governmental, and I know there's a precedent there. But at some point, when Clint Cointman come in office, you know, people weren't happy about it. He changed policy. Things change. Things tend to change, and I think that's some stuff we need to look into, is the fact that we're paying too much money for this. I don't care what we're looking at. We're just paying too much money, the budget. I think we should get a third party whenever we get to this point, once these plans are done, and get a third party to give us an exact cost breakdown of what this thing should cost, because I don't think this thing should be $7.6 million. I don't see it. And if it is $7.6 million, based on my experience, I think we should have heated floors for these dogs for $7.6 million. Just my opinion, just my stupid opinion. So I would just say, let's say push it to the December meeting. I'd like to discuss it more with them and not wait till January. I'd love to just wait till the next meeting.
Okay,
December.
so, are you like to withdraw your original?
Yeah, I'd like to withdraw
amendment?
and make a substitute motion.
Can I comment just real quick?
Yeah,
If you don't mind,
yeah.
Chair?
Please.
So, I mean, if we're going to do comparisons, I would say we do apples to apples, right? Let's go get animal shelters that have been built recently, not warehouses, because it's not the same. And it's not treated the same, it's not functioned the same, and they're not the same. So I'll be happy to get with the architect, and let's go find some actual animal shelters that have been built, at least in the last 3 years, so we can compare apples to apples, because they're not the same as just warehousing space. So be happy to do that to kind of maybe help justify cost and answer some of Mr. Vornado's concerns.
Well, I mean, the problem I got is setting, you know, we got a precedent in this parish and across the state and paying a higher premium for whatever it is in the architectural field. And I just don't feel like we should be doing it. You know, the prices down the street can be the same. It's gonna be along the same lines, because these guys, you know, they bid around the same price. I know what they are. $250 a square foot is just, I don't care what kind of building it is. I just don't see it for a 30,000 square foot building. And you literally could put gold leaf in that thing. You literally should have heated floors where these dog kennels are for $7.6 million. It's just my opinion.
This one in Livingston came out at 230 a square foot, and the
But
reason.
how many people in Livingston that was looking at this contract has experience in the architectural field? How many?
I'm not sure how that's tied to the architect, because we come
No,
up with
it
an
makes,
estimate.
it absolutely, it matters when it comes to looking at these costs and knowing what these costs are in certain things, certain sectors across the board. Whether it's roads, whether it's architectural, whether it's engineering. It makes a massive difference whenever somebody has a knowledge in a field and they're looking at a contract. It makes a massive difference on what you can and can't. Again, just
what
my
I'm
opinion.
saying
I'd
is-
like to discuss it more.
This is
And-
an estimate right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're basing it on a building that's very similar, that was built very recently, almost the same cost per square foot.
Mm-hmm.
And that was publicly bid, publicly advertised, publicly bid. They have a local contractor that has that job over there. It's about 90% completed, if anybody wants to come look at it. There is a lot of plumbing that goes into, every kennel has to have plumbing
I agree.
to it. So that number's way different than a warehouse. the exhaust you gotta have in animal shelters is way different than a
Yeah,
warehouse.
so your costs are in MEPs, your air conditioning, that's where you run your cost up when you're conditioning a large
Plumbing,
space.
air conditioning.
Absolutely, I'm very, very aware and very keen to that, so I still don't, I don't care what they're paying down the street. I don't, you know, when you walk into a car dealership, one person may pay that sticker price, the next person comes in and says, I'm not paying that. And that's just the reality of that. Salesman is going to want to sell you no matter what. And I'm not saying you do anything wrong, that's just my opinion. I just like to discuss it more at the next meeting, that's it.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Pizzi had questions, comment as well.
I got a couple questions. One from Mr. Muggio. You and I, early on, sat down, talked about this, talked about the firms you spoke with who are both nationally recognized for this, for building kennels. That is their specialty. We talked about both that you used, correct, and the one you chose and why you chose it.
Yes, sir.
I was satisfied at that point with the budget, I will say that. But the numbers, you already said, $230 a square foot in Livingston. I've seen the one in Livingston, not in person, but I've seen all the schematics, the video, everything. I guess my big question here for you is, are those numbers real? So 3.3 million for 15,000 square feet, correct?
Yeah, 3.3 for 15,000, that's
Yeah,
right.
so, okay.
And
So
and
yeah,
it's got 50
2230 a
kennels.
square foot, okay. That's my first question. Second question, if we defer, Mr. Compton, if we defer, we are holding his payments, correct?
Yes, but talking with Dawn, it seems like we can wait till December. If we can get this resolved by December, we should be okay.
Okay. All right, that's probably the most important part of me. I don't want to hold money for a guy who's already done the work.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We got one more question, Mr. Robert.
Yeah, not so much a question, I just wanted to address a topic that Todd brought up, and it's very real. I mean, building a brand-new home or a brand-new warehouse, we're talking at $250 to $300 a foot of finishing out turnkey, like bathroom, kitchen per square foot. I mean, you could damn near build a 10,000 square foot of bathroom for $250 a square foot, which is by far your most expensive along with kitchen in any development. Yeah, so I would like to see some more of the numbers on it. It does seem largely off, honestly. That's all I have.
All right, so I do have a new amended motion from Mr. Vornado, which is going to be to push this item to the December 11th agenda. I have a second from Mr. Helensbeck. Is there any objection to that?
Objection.
Okay, well, I do have one objection. Let me see, we will do roll call. Madam Secretary?
Yeah.
Yes, this is for the amended motion, or it's actually a substitute motion, to move it to December 11th. Okay, the motion passes 7-2, so this will be back on our December 11th agenda. Ms. David, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, general business, 8G, which was formerly 7N, and this is the approval of the Professional Selection Committee's recommendation to select highest scoring respondent Alvin Fairburn and Associates LLC for the request for qualifications, Bayou McCall drainage improvements, engineering services for the state drainage program, and authorize parish president to enter for a professional services contract. Mr. Helensbeck?
I'd like to make an amended motion that the RFQ be awarded to McLennan Creed as they have been involved in the project from day one and are the main reason we are receiving funding.
Second.
Okay, so I have an amended motion by Mr. Helensbeck to award the RFQ to McKinnon Creed with a second by Mr. Cullen. I don't object. You don't, okay. Any questions, any comments, any objection? All right, hearing none, so moved. All right. And 8H, which was formerly 7BB, I'm sorry. Let me flip to my paper. This one here. This is the approval of the cooperative endeavor agreement between the Ascension Parish government and Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for the Roddy Road at Bike Bayou Road roundabout project, and approval for Parish President Clint Quimble to execute the agreement. And I believe Ms. There's Mr. Helms. Yep.
She can talk.
Oh,
Where she is.
oh,
No,
she
she's
is.
gone. So I guess I talk.
I believe this is not quite ready. It's-
Yeah, we were reviewing the item earlier today, and the cooperative endeavor agreement that is included is incorrect. So we were just asking for this to be pulled so that we can get the correct CEA to y'all in a future meeting.
So, okay, would y'all like that to be the December meeting or January? Do you have, I just like to put a date on it.
Sure, let's go with the December meeting. We'll have to coordinate with DOTD to make sure that we have, we can get the CEA back in time.
Okay, so, all right, we have, would you like, would January suit you better? Or like, is there a timeline?
Hey, timelines, we're just kicking the project off, so, this is to do a permit project on a state route. So, we do have a little bit of time. It's not pressing. So, we can wait till we can defer till January.
December?
December 11th or January?
Yeah,
Let's
December
just go
11th.
ahead and do January just to make sure, because
Okay.
it's holiday season and I don't know how long it's going to take to get through.
Okay. All right, so, January 8th, can Chair get a?
Yeah,
Motion.
All right, motion to push to defer until January 8th by Mr. PT, a second by Mr. Vornado. Any objection? Hearing none? So moved. Whew, it's been a while since we had an agenda hop around that much. All right, zoning recommendations, 9A, zoning review IDPZ 3757.25. The Zerang property is located on the south side of LA Highway 405, approximately 2,200 feet east of Mulberry Grove Road, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from conservation to heavy industrial, light industrial, medium intensity residential, and mixed use, to accept or deny the recommendation from the zoning commission to approve. We have a motion to accept the approval by Ms. Beatty and a second by Mr. Arsenault. Are there any questions, any objections? Hearing none, so moved. 9B, zoning review ID PZ-3773.25, lot B1 for Crawfish Properties LLC, located on the west side of LA Highway 73, 380 foot south of Cattle Avenue, to amend Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensity residential to mixed use to accept or deny the zoning commission recommendation to approve.
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept by Mr. Hillensbeck and a second by Mr. Vornado. Are there any questions or any objections? Hearing none, so moved. And item 9C, zoning review ID PZ-3787.25 for Greg Swanson, located on the south side of LA Highway 30, approximately 1,750 feet west of LA Highway 941, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from rural to mixed use to accept or deny the zoning commission recommendation to approve. Okay, okay, all right. So Mr. Robert has a motion to deny the recommendation of approval, which would ultimately deny the zoning request. Mr. Cullen has a second. Are there any questions, any objections?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah, Mr. Arsenault.
So, what's the area around that? There you are. How does that fit in with what's there? This is on Highway 30, right?
Correct, it's on Highway 30.
No, it's on Highway 30.
It's on Highway 30.
Thank you.
No, it's on Highway 30.
Between Cluette and 30.
It backs up, there's a house or a residence, and then there's, on Cluette, and then there's this lot fronts Highway 30. There's a trailer park next to it. I think it's called Village, if I'm not mistaken, trailer park that's been there, it's non-conforming. I think there's a home on the other side, and across the street is Smith Tank and Steel. And I think recently, that property across the street has also been annexed into the city of Gonzales.
Okay. My understanding was some of the concerns brought up were drainage and traffic and that sort of thing, whether it's SPUD versus zoning change. Can you explain what
The
we're looking at
difference,
there?
yeah, basically it's a straight rezone. So Basically, it's zoning system to mixed use two. So whatever is allowed in that mixed use two would be allowed. He's required, if he decides to go forward and again, with the mixed use two for his commercial, to do traffic, to do drainage, all those things will be required. With the SPUD, is basically, if you want to call it condition use, but basically it states that what he's going to do, or the owner will do, and that development or that plan is approved from the recommendation from the zoning commission, and then the council approves it. And if he doesn't do it then, or changes it, then it comes back for any major use change, kind of like one that came in last month. So,
And then your recommendation was to approve?
yes, sir.
I have a comment.
Yeah, Mr. President.
Thank you, Chair. Talking to just the residents that reach out to me, it is a particular low area that holds water. That's probably the first concern. And just the overall backing up to Kluwat Road and the lots along there does not fit the high-end density residential area south of there with those lots fronting. And that's the concerns of the people on Kluwat Road on putting that much of a high-density zoning close to a spread-out residential on Kluwat Road. So I can see their point. It's just one I wanted to add. It does hold some water, and so any adjustment there will probably have impacts on the neighbors.
But anything done there would require appropriate drainage and all that done anyhow, right?
For commercial, yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Vornado?
Are there any, I know there's like a Dollar General across the street, Smith Tank across the street. Are there any kind of SPUDs anywhere nearby that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of, no, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll just kind of, I'm gonna come to you in a second, Mr. Robert. I'm always overly cautious whenever something is literally a horseshoe of residential right around it. And like the drainage, I mean, the drainage study has to be done, whether it's a SPUD, mixed use.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Like the drainage would be addressed no matter, in which I believe after going back and watching the video, a wedding venue is
Correct.
is
Yes,
kind
sir.
of the goal of it now.
Mhm.
So, and in this particular case, being there's no commercial actually butting this property anywhere, like directly across the street. Right now, like, I know Smith Tank is a little ways.
It's a little offset, but it is across the street.
Right,
yes,
right,
sir.
like it's across the street, but there's no actual any mixed use touching this property, and it's got
sir.
residential on the 3 side. And I say all that to say is that of the wedding venue, from talking with everybody, like the wedding venue, no one has any heartburn about that. It's just the fact of what it could become under a mixed use too. And if there was mixed use on either side of that, I'm always in favor of, butting up to a commercial or mixed use. But my concern with this particular one is the drainage would be addressed no matter what it's done. But my personal, on this right here, should be a PUD because of it's completely 100% surrounded by residential.
Yes, sir.
So that's just where I'm at on it. Mr. Robert.
Thank you, Chair. This is in my district, and I pass this road several times a day. It was my drive to bring my kids to school for the last years, and I've grown up in that area. It's not even close to a commercial area. The property across the street next to Smith Tank and Steel actually decided to go into the city because the parish wasn't going to do it for them either without doing a specific SPUD or something like that. And this particular property isn't even touching where that other property was touching mixed use. I think it's a classic example of spot zoning. I believe we put a lot of work by this parish, doing all these zoning, putting all this stuff together. We put it there for a reason. So yeah, that's my reason for making a motion to deny. Thank you.
Mr. Varnado?
Also, it may be a little early. I know when we submit, you got to get with DOTD for the, so they would have to get with DOTD for the entrance and exit for this. If it's a
Correct. Yes, sir.
commercial
And they'd have
space,
to do it.
I assume it wouldn't be off the residential Kluwat or something like that. They would, I know DOTD's weird about having driveways close together for safety
Right.
reasons and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So I mean, would there be any chance for this to
No,
be
this lot-
entered and exited from the
This
Clue
lot doesn't touch Cluot.
The what?
This lot does not touch Cluot. This lot is all
Strictly
frontages
on
on
30.
30. And they would be required to do a drainage, traffic impact study.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Ms. Alonso?
Yes, I came and attended the zoning and planning meeting
Yes,
last
ma'am.
week when this property came up,
Yes, ma'am.
and I had some concerns, so I physically went out and saw the property myself. And it's ringed with palmettos. So it's evident to me that there's a drainage, that's where a lot of it, the area drains to. I also talked to some residents, and I was told the same thing, that they believe that's where their property drains to. So I have concerns in it going to MU2 because of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Robert.
I did want to point out that we're going from one of the most conservative zonings of rural to one of the most aggressive zonings in this request. That's all.
They're going to mixed use too, so that's that transition from residential to commercial. So there's offices and those type of things that's permitted there. Apartments, heavy industrial or light industrial is not permitted in that district. So,
Mr. Varno?
half acre per home.
And for MU2, what's the max, like warehousing,
You
is
can do
10,000?
apartments, right?
Yeah, 8,500 is the max, but even with warehouses, everything needs to be behind it. You can't have, things stored and things like that.
Lay down yards and whatnot? Gotcha.
Yes, sir. And I also want to state that the master plan and the Ascension Parish vision map shows this property as commercial. So,
Okay, so we do have a motion by Mr. Robert to deny the recommendation, and we had a second from Mr. Cullen, right? All right, are there any objections to that? We do have one objection. Mr. Arsenault, if we can please do roll call. So a yes is for denial, a no is for approval. It's a little backwards there. The yeas have it 7-2, so the request is denied.
I hit the wrong button.
Would you like?
I used my pencil, I'm sorry.
We're going to revote for the record, please. If everyone would please revote again. Okay, so the yeas have it 8-1. So the request for a rezone is denied.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brock.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
All right. Introduction of ordinances. 10A, introduction of an ordinance to authorize the Ascension Parish government through the office of the parish president to purchase or otherwise acquire certain parcels, right-of-way, and/or servitudes for the Move Ascension program, particularly Project LA 621 at Roddy Road, roundabout project, parish project number MA 19-02. Motion introduced by Ms. PT. 10B, introduction of an ordinance to authorize the Ascension Parish government through the office of the parish president to purchase and otherwise acquire certain parcels, rights-of-way, and/or servitudes for the Move Ascension program, particularly Project LA 44 at Parker Road Roundabout Project, Parish Project number MA 22-05. Motion introduced by Ms. Alonso. 10C, introduction of an ordinance to amend Ascension Parish Unified Land Developmental Code Appendix 5, drainage specifically, amend Section 17-506A, protection of existing watersheds and conveyance systems, and to amend Section 17-5013, design criteria. Planning Commission recommends approval. Motion introduced by Mr. Vornado. And for 10D, due to we have to have the public hearing for 10E for this particular introduction of ordinance, so.
Chairman,
Mhm.
you didn't do D yet. The public hearings for F.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I skipped D. I apologize. D, introduction of ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Land Developmental Code Appendix 4, subdivision regulations specifically to amend Attachment B, drainage impact study procedure, amend Section 17-405, preliminary plat procedure and to amend section 17-4026 family partition. The Planning Commission recommends approval. Motion introduced by Mr. Hillensbeck. We'll have a public hearing to amend the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances to create road infrastructure district designated as Parish of Ascension Road Infrastructure District number IDD-2025-01, Riverton, second filing pursuant to the Ascension Parish Unified Land Developmental Code, Appendix 4, Subdivision Regulations, Section 17-4011, approval of final plat procedure, infrastructure development district. Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Hillensbeck, a second by Mr. Vornado. We have no public speakers. Motion to close by Mr. Vornado and a second by Ms. Alonso. 10F, the introduction of ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish Code of Ordinances to create infrastructure designated as Parish of Road Infrastructure District number IDD 2025-01, Riverton, second filing pursuant to the Ascension Parish Unified Land Developmental Code, Appendix 4, Subdivision Regulations, Section 17-4011, approval of final plat procedure, F, Infrastructure Development District. Motion introduced by Ms. PT. 10G, introduction of an ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from conservation to heavy industrial, light industrial, medium intensity residential and mixed use zoning ID PZ-3757.25 Zerang properties located on the south side of LA Highway 405, approximately 2,200 feet east of Mulberry Grove Road. Motion introduced by Ms. Alonso. 10H, introduction of an ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensity residential to mixed use 2. Zoning ID, review ID PZ-3773.25, Lot B1 for Crawfish Properties, located at the west side of LA Highway 73, approximately 380 foot south of Cattle Avenue. Motion introduced by Mr. Vornado. 10I, introduction of an ordinance to amend the ordinance adopting a classification plan to adjust pay ranges to allow for a 2026 cost of living adjustment for Ascension Parish government employees effective January 5th, 2026. And we have a motion to introduce. 11A, reading of an ordinance to amend 2025 budget and appropriate the 2026 budget for Ascension Parish government. Mr. Dupatti.
Certain budgets for the 2025 budget year for certain funds has been prepared and submitted to the council in Exhibit A, whereas a proposed operating budget for the year 2026 includes revenues of $185,669,500 plus required fund balance of $2,122,200 for a total equal to $187,791,700 and expenditures of $163,060,200. The capital budget includes revenues of $77,249,000 plus required fund balance of $60,942,500 for a total equal to $138,191,500 and expenditures of $162,923,000. Therefore, the total operating capital budget revenues plus required fund balance equal $325,983,200 and expenditures equal $325,983,200. Interfund transfers are $105,236,500, whereas Ascension Parish Council has reviewed and considered such proposed budget and made revisions of same, and whereas said proposed budget was duly set after proper notice to the public for public hearing, which was held on November 20th, 2025, as required by the revised statutes of the state of Louisiana and the Ascension Parish Home Rule Charter. Therefore, be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Council of the state of Louisiana, Section 1, 2025 amended budget, that the amended budgets as prepared for 2025 are approved and appropriated by Ascension Parish Council with the stipulation that A, transfer from the Sales and Use Tax District Number 1 fund to the general fund, the road and bridge fund, and the criminal court fund in the amount necessary to maintain a balanced fund, but will not exceed the amount authorized in the budget. The recreation fund is allocated 10% of the net 1% Sales and Use Tax District Number 1 revenues as an additional source of funding. Funding is also provided by an allocation to Sales and Use Tax Number 1 Bond Sinking Fund and FIN's Family in Need of Services, to the extent that the resulting revenue of the Sales and Use Tax District Number 1 fund exceed expenditures and transfers, and after an adequate fund balance equal to 6 months of expenditures maintained, then such excess will be transferred 25% to the Mega Infrastructure Project Construction Fund, 25% to the Recreation Fund, and 50% to the Move Ascension Fund. The 1/3 of the Sales and Use Tax District Number 2 revenues collected for fire protection shall be shared by Ascension Parish Fire Protection District Number 1 at 65%, by Ascension Parish Fire Protection District Number 2 at 13% and by Ascension Parish Fire Protection District number 3 at 22%. All unexpended appropriations will lapse at December 31st, 2025. Section 2, 2026 budget, that the budget proposed for year 2026 is approved, adopted, and appropriated with the following provisions. A, expenditures not contemplated in the operation of the government of Ascension Parish as set forth in this budget are to be approved in accordance with the provisions of Article 7, Section 701 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish. Transferred from the Sales and Use Tax District Number 1 fund to the General Fund, the Road and Bridge Fund, and the Criminal Court Fund, and the amount necessary to maintain the balanced fund, but will not exceed the amount authorized in the budget. The Recreation Fund is allocated 10% of the net 1% Sales and Use Tax District Number 1 revenues as an additional source of funding. Funding is also provided by an allocation to Sales and Use Tax District Number 1 Sinking Fund and FIN's Family Need of Services to the extent that resulting revenues of the Sales and Use Tax District Number 1 Fund exceed expenditures and transfers, and after an adequate fund balance equal to 6 months of expenditures is maintained, such excess will be transferred 25% to the mega infrastructure projects construction fund, 25% to the recreation fund, and 50% to the Move Ascension Fund. C, one third net of the Sales and Use Tax District Number 2 revenues collected for fire protection shall be shared by Ascension Parish Fire Protection District Number 1 at 65%, by Ascension Parish Fire District Number 2 at 13%, and by Ascension Parish Fire Protection District Number 3 at 22%. Funding to provide the 2025 encumbrances is hereby approved and appropriated. E, all expended appropriations will lapse at December 31st, 2026. This ordinance having been submitted to a vote, the vote thereon was as follows.
Have a motion to open public hearing by Mr. Robert, second by Mr. Vornado. Motion to close public hearing by Mr. Vornado and a second by Ms. Alonso. So public hearing is closed now. Let's see. We're going to get a little busy here. All right, so let me see. Mr. Hillens back. You had a question, comment first?
Yeah, I got a couple questions, just
Okay.
for clarity. On page 51, on the general fund, there's a new one, the project management. What exactly is that?
So, excuse me, so that is a new department that is being set up. Originally, they were under the finance department, the project managers, and then we are creating a new department because there are 4 or 5 of them now, so they will have their own department.
Is that just the parish projects that they're working on?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I got another one on page 88. There was money, 2025 mental health fund that was transferred out. The transfer in park construction.
So, last year in 2024, we were under the impression erroneously that we could use health unit and mental health money to assist with the Santa Ma Rec Center. We felt because the way the center is going to be used, it's going to provide different services. But once we went back and read the actual proposition of both the health unit and mental health taxes, it was determined that we cannot use the funds for that, so we have to transfer the money back into the mental health fund and the health unit fund.
All right, I got one more. On page 220. Those, last page. The last 3 on the transfer out sections, is that where you were talking about with the mental health fund?
Yes, it's the
having to go-
exact same thing. So
Okay.
the money was put into park construction, so it has to transfer it out of there back into the respective funds where it originally came
Okay,
from.
that was all, I was like.
A
where's
little
this going?
confusing, but yeah, that's it.
All right, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. All right, so, back to the ordinance. Let's see, so we all have some hard copies of proposed amendments from Ms. Dawn. I'm asking Ms. Dawn to give us a brief overview. And then, and after that, I will read the amendments into the record. And we will then make amendments as desired by the body. So Ms. Dawn, the floor is yours.
Okay, so Actually, the majority of the amendments for both 2025 amended and 2026 are establishing the two economic development districts that were created back in 2022. One is the Riverplex Mega Park on the west side, which is the Modest area. The second one is the one on Highway 30 that Ricky was making reference to. So there is a process of where, you start with a baseline in 2021, and then the assessor gives us figures that happened in 24, 25, same thing with sales tax revenues, and you take the incremental difference, and that is what is put into the funds. So that is what the majority of these are doing. You have to take it out of one to put it in another, and you have to take it from another to put it back into the other. I promise it's all correct, but that is exactly what we're trying to do, is establish it. There is another budget amendment that was correcting some figures that my department, or I guess you could say me, erroneously made a mistake on the Council on Aging budget. It's their appropriation that goes to them for 2025. If y'all remember, we put 1.5 million into their construction fund, and then the additional amount was what's left that's being transferred to them. 2026, we did not even have a budget amount in there, and so their appropriation had to be corrected. And there's another one for Lamar Dixon, and all that did, the grant revenue we were anticipating, it was only 500,000, and we put it at 750. Same thing with the corresponding expense. We had it at 750. It's had to be reduced by another 250 to 500,000. So it's a wash. It didn't affect the bottom line because that's all they're going to spend too.
All right, any questions for Ms. Dawn? Any concerns about that? All right, oh, yep, Mr. Arsenault?
Were we just working down the wire on this? Is that what happened here?
To be quite honest, I just got figures on Monday
Okay.
from all these districts, these two districts, yes. We had to get figures from the sales tax, which, and then we had to get some from the assessor, and the different reports had to be run, so yes. My apologies, but yes, we just.
Just puts us under the gun a little bit, not having time to review it. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Varnado.
Ms. Dawn, on page 170, the franchising fees, so that's what we're taking in from the utility companies, is that correct?
So those franchise fees are actually, we have an agreement with Baton Rouge Water. They provide all of our fire hydrants throughout the parish, but it's an offset. We have an expense, so whatever the revenue we collect from them, that's how much they charge us to take care of them and to install.
Break even? Yeah.
Yes, it's a break even.
Yeah, there's a rental fee on them things, I think, when they install them and whatnot. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's another question.
Okay, so look, before I read all 3 or 4 of these pages, Chair would really love a motion and a second on to amendment that Ms. Dawn has presented to us. All right, so we do have an amendment. Oh, all right, we got one more question by Mr. Varnado.
Sorry.
It's okay.
The page 94, the franchising fee there, can you give me an explanation for that?
So these are actually the fees that whenever we sold all of the sewer systems to NWI, they have to pay us franchise fees, and you all approved to give it to recreation. It was done by either resolution or ordinance. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly which, but that is where all the franchise fees go, is to recreation.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we do have an amended motion to amend the budget as presented by Ms. Dawn that I will read aloud by, and that motion was by Mr. Hillensbeck with a second from Ms. Alonso. No, a second from Mr. PT. So at this time, I will read these amendments. General fund, expenditure and other financing uses, other financing uses, transfers out. Highway 30 Corridor Infrastructure Economic Development District increased by $1,758,500 for ad valorem tax revenues earned in Highway 30 Industrial Corridor Economic Development District. Transfer out Riverplex Megapark Economic Development District increased $9,000 for ad valorem tax revenues earned in the Riverplex Megapark Economic Development District above the 2021 baseline amount. Special revenue funds, Road and Bridge Fund, revenues and other financing sources, miscellaneous revenues decrease in the amount of $1,245,000 for revenues budgeted to be received for the red dirt project that are for the East Ascension Drainage Fund. Expenditures and other financing uses transfer out. East Ascension Drainage Fund decrease in the amount of $1,245,000 for revenues that are for the East Ascension Drainage Fund. East Ascension Consolidated Gravity Drainage District revenues and other financing sources, miscellaneous revenues to increase in the amount of $680,000 for reimbursement for the work performed in the red dirt project. Other financing sources transfers in Road and Bridge Fund decrease in the amount of $1,245,000 for the revenues that are the East Ascension Drainage Fund. Sales Tax District Number 2 expenditures and other financing uses transfers out. Road Construction Fund decreased by $3,262,500 for sales tax revenues earned in the Highway 30 Industrial Corridor Economic Development District and in the Riverplex Megapark Economic Development District, $70,000. Sales Tax District Number 2 continued expenditures transfer out. Highway 30 Industrial Corridor Economic Development District increased by $3,192,500 for sales tax revenues earned in the Highway 30 Industrial Corridor Economic Development District above the 2021 baseline amount. Transfer out. Riverplex Megapark Economic Development District increased by $70,000 for sales tax revenues earned in the Riverplex Megapark Economic Development District above the 2021 baseline amount. Council on Aging Fund appropriations and grants decreased by $1,331,000 to correct the amount of appropriation to the Council on Aging. Riverplex Megapark Economic Development District, other financing sources transfer in. General Fund increased by $9,000 for ad valorem tax revenues earned in the district above the 2021 baseline amount. Transfer in. Sales Tax District Number 2 increased by $70,000 for sales tax revenues earned in the district above the 2021 baseline amount. Highway 30 Industrial Corridor Economic Development District, revenues and other financing sources transfer in. General Fund increased by $1,758,500 for ad valorem tax revenues earned in the district above the 2021 baseline amount. Transfer in. Sales Tax District Number 2 increased by $3,192,500 for sales tax revenues earned in the district above the 2021 baseline amount. Lamar-Dixon Fund revenues and other financing sources. Intergovernmental grants, grant resources decreased by $250,000 to reflect the correct amount of grant revenues to be received. Appropriations and grants non-capital for Lamar-Dixon decreased by $250,000 to reflect the correct amount of appropriation and grant expenditures. ACUD Number 1, revenue and other financing sources, transfers in. Water Wastewater Construction Fund increased by $200,000 for engineering fees used to determine potential line capacities as well as improvements. Expenditure and other financing uses, engineering fees, non-capital increased by $200,000 to determine potential line capacities as well as improvements. And capital funds, Road Construction Fund, revenue and other financing sources, transfer in. Sales Tax District Number 2 decreased by $3,262,500 for sales tax revenues earned in the Highway 30 Industrial Corridor Economic Development District and in the Riverplex Megapark Economic Development District, $70,000. Water Wastewater Construction Fund, expenditures and other financing uses, transfers out. ACUD Number 1 increased by $200,000 for engineering fees to determine potential line capacities as well as improvements. So we do have a motion and a second for those amendments. So are there any objections strictly to the amendments, and then we will vote on the budget as a whole as amended? All right, so there's no objection to the amendments. Chair will now need a motion for the budget as amended. I have a motion by Mr. Hillensbeck, a second by Mr. Vornado. Are there any objections? We have one question. Mr. Vornado?
I promise it's my last. Ms. Dawn, we had spoke about, we've been kind of going back and forth with 4-H on their budgetary stuff. We basically, for our facilities, we basically are billing ourselves. It's costing us basically $93,000 to house them in Ascension Parish?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. And I think we approved the $10,000 livestock earlier this year, right? 10,000 out of the 60?
Yes, and,
Okay.
correct.
Okay, that's all I need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ms. Beatty.
I didn't want to say anything, but you did bring it up. It's approved in the budget, but we did not approve it,
The new contracts.
the new
yes. We're
contracts. So
still
they're
looking
still
at that.
not approved.
Yeah.
Correct.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's allocated for us to be able to, we're gonna discuss more. Yeah, it's allocated, so.
Okay.
We're just gonna discuss more.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any objections to the budget as amended? Hearing none? So moved. All right, 11D, reading of an ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from conservation to light industrial zoning review ID PZ-3720.25, lot B3A for Waste Pro of Louisiana Incorporated, located on north side of North Robert Wilson Road, approximately 1,500 feet east of Raycade Sanders Road. Mr. Dupatti.
Purpose, this ordinance amends the official zone designation of Lot B3A attached legal description from conservation to light industrial. This rezone is identified as zoning review ID PZ 3720.25, whereas Ascension Parish is a local government subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974, and whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body over the zoning and regulations within the jurisdiction, and whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish adopted May 4, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish, and whereas the official zoning map for Ascension Parish was last adopted on March 8, 2016, and whereas the Parish Council reserves the authority to make changes to the official zoning map by ordinance, and whereas this request has been processed in compliance with the procedures set forth, be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that the official zoning map of Ascension Parish, Louisiana is amended to reflect the property identified Exhibit A as light industrial as the official zoning designation, severability. In the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portion of the ordinance. Effective date, this ordinance shall be in full force, shall be in full effect as permitted by law. Exhibits A, legal description, B, plat map, C, aerial zoning map. Adoption of this ordinance have been submitted to the vote. The vote the ordinance as follows.
Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Robert with a second from Mr. Vornado. Motion to close public hearing by Mr. Alonso, a second by Ms. Beatty. Motion to move the ordinance by Mr. Robert with a second by Mr. Vornado. Are there any objections to the motion on the ordinance? Hearing none, so moved, and we are adjourned. Thank you.